Hi, everybody. We are live talking this day in history. Welcome to the Scott Show. This day in history for January 5th. It's the 5th day of the year. Of course, January, the first month of the year. So, of course, the 5th day will be the 5th day. 360 days left of full circle going on here. That's what we got happening. So, we're going to go right to the events for today. This day in history. In 1066, Edward the Confessor dies childless, sparking a succession crisis which will eventually lead to the Norman conquest of England. 1066, that happened. In 1477, the Battle of Nancy, Charles the Bold is killed and Burgundy becomes part of France. In 1527, Felix Manz, the leader of the Anabaptist group in Zurich, Switzerland, is executed by drowning. In 1757, Louis XV of France survives an assassination attempt by Robert Francois Deems, the last person to be executed in France by drawing and quartering, the traditional and gruesome form of capital punishment used. That's just terrible. In 1781, the Revolutionary War, Richmond, Virginia is burned by British naval forces led by Benedict Arnold. Wanted to go back and talk about that one. In 1846, the House of Representatives votes to stop sharing the Oregon Territory, and the Trail, apparently, with the United Kingdom. In 1882, Charles de Gaulle is found guilty of assassinating President Garfield and sentenced to death by hanging. You'll note that normally I don't talk about people who murder other people, so that might be the first time we've done that for a while. The Dreyfus Affair. French army officer Alfred Dreyfus is stripped of his rank and sentenced to life imprisonment on Devil's Island. That made the movie Escape from Devil's Island. In 1912, the Prague Party Conference takes place. In 1914, the Ford Motor Company announces an 8-hour workday and a daily living wage of $5 in salary plus bonuses, subject to restrictions and imposed character standards. In 1919, the German Worker Party, which became the Nazi Party, is founded. In 1925, Nellie Ross of Wyoming becomes the first female governor of the United States. In 1933, construction of the Golden Gate Bridge begins in San Francisco Bay. In 1944, the Daily Mail becomes the first transoceanic newspaper. And now it's a thing where you find all your quote, celebrities and lack thereof. 1945, the Soviet Union recognizes the new Soviet government of Poland. 1949, Harry S. Truman unveils his Fair Deal program. 1953, the play Waiting for Godot, by Samuel Beckett is first performed. 1957, in a speech given to Congress, Dwight D. Eisenhower announces the establishment of what will later be called the Eisenhower Doctrine. In 1970, a 7.1 on the Richter scale earthquake shakes China, and it has a maximum Mercalli intensity of X, which is extreme. 10,000 killed and 26,000 injured. 1972, President Richard Nixon orders the development of the Space Shuttle program. In 1974, the warmest temperature, 1974 now, the warmest temperature below the Antarctic Circle of 59 degrees Fahrenheit. 59 degrees. That would be summer now here. We are minus 18 or minus 12 right now, and Anchorage, Alaska is at 18. So 59, that's very interesting. In 1976, the Troubles. Gunmen shoot dead 10 Protestant civilians after stopping their minibus in Northern Ireland, UK, allegedly after retaliation of a string of attacks on Catholic civilians in the area by loyalists, particularly the killing of 6 Catholics the night before. 1991, the embassy in Mogadishu, Somalia, is evacuated by helicopter airlift after violence happened in Mogadishu. In 2000, the politician for Sri Lanka is shot dead in Colombo, Sri Lanka. In 2005, Iris, the most massive and second known dwarf planet in the solar system, is discovered by a team of Michael Brown, Chad Urillo, and David Rabowitz using images originally taken in 2003. There you go. That is this day in history. We've got some birthdays and some deaths to talk about. So happy birthday to the following. Jane Wyman, who is unfortunately no longer with us, but she would be 101 today if she was born, or if she was alive. Of course, she was born in 1917. Walter Mondale, happy birthday, Walter Mondale, turning 90 years old, former Vice President of the United States. Robert Duvall, happy birthday to Robert Duvall. Charlie Rose, who I still like, who still, was on TV for a long time, and gotta respect the guy, even though he did, whatever he did. Ed Randell, happy birthday to Ed. Diane Keaton, happy birthday to you. Ted Lang, from the Love Boat. Marilyn Manson, happy birthday to Marilyn Manson. Bradley Cooper, and January Jones, also born this day in history. And deaths I want to talk about. Ernest Shackleton, explorer, died 1922. Calvin Coolidge died 1933. George Washington Carver died 1943. Pete Maravich, who was a great basketball player, Pistol Pete Maravich, died 1988. And Sonny Bono, of course, very famous Sonny and Cher, also politician, actor, producer, singer, songwriter, and overall amazing dude, died this day in 1998. It is January 5th. It is National Bird Day in the United States. It's Take Your Daughters and Son to Work Day in Australia. And unfortunately, folks, it is the 12th day of Christmas. So the tree does come down today in New York City. So this has been This Day in History. I want to thank you all for listening to This Day in History. If you guys ever want to add anything, let me know, and we will do such as we go along here, This Day in History, and we will see you tomorrow here on the Scott Show Podcast.